with all the sauces added in, sorry I couldn't show you, but you just have to make sure that you add them at your discretion. It's really up to a matter of personal preference here. With all the sauces added in, all that's left now to do is to stir fry to tasty little, goodness. So, this will take a few minutes because I added in so much sauce, but once the pork gets thoroughly cooked through, you can see it's already turning brown here. Once the pork gets already cooked through, I'll turn the camera back on, you can see it again. Until then, I need to cook the pork right now. You'll be able to tell when the pork is done when it looks golden brown, as opposed to light brown as it is right now. I'll show you what that looks like. Hold on. This is how you know you're done. The pork is a delicious golden brown and almost all the sauce has gone away. So, this actually looks about ready, so just give me a couple seconds here and we'll be able to take it out and try it. And there you have it. Some delicious pork. Now let's put this together on a plate and see what it looks like. And there you have it. I might have put in a little bit too much rice, but I think this came out pretty good. Try it for yourself and see. Now you're probably wondering, you probably still have some rice left over in the pot, and you probably made a little bit too much pork, so you're probably wondering what to do with the leftovers. Well, once I'm done with this, and believe me, when I will finish this, once I'm done with this, I'll show you what to do with them. Hello everyone, I'm back, and let me tell you, that was a delicious meal. So, you got some leftovers, mostly rice and pork. Now, I'm not sure if any of you around school had seen me, but I like to make rice balls. I usually make them from leftover pork and chicken and stuff, I find. The recipe is extremely adaptable. You can use any kind of filling you want, just as you can basically adapt the whole recipe I used to make this entire thing. So, I might as well show you how to make them. It's actually pretty easy, but a little time consuming, so it's best to do this only if you have time afterwards. The key thing here, though, is that the rice must be fresh. The only things you need now are a board, just an ordinary chopping board, and some kind of plastic sheeting. I'm using this, I use this plastic that I used to cut meat on, but it's nothing. I'm doing dishes later, so I can afford to get a little dirty. Now, in the pan here, I've divided the remaining pork into 8 mostly even pieces. So, because of the amount of rice I have left, I should be able to make about 8 rice balls. I think so, anyway. So, let's see how this turns out. The only other thing you need now is a bowl of salt water. See the salt's still dissolving a little bit. The salt water is what you're going to be dipping your hands in when you handle the rice. It's going to make the rice keep together as it's being molded. So let me show you how to do that. Using a rice paddle or a large spoon, shovel out some rice about yay big or so. This is enough for about 2 or 2.5 actually. Actually about 2. So let me show you how to get this together. Okay, let's get started. First and foremost, you need to make sure that you dip your hands into the salt water. Make sure it gets coated pretty well. The rice is going to be pretty hot still, I'm assuming. So, first you take a bundle of rice, and then I would probably add a bit more to this one to make it about, say, yay big's a little small. Let's try, here we go. About yay big or so. Maybe a little bit too much. There we go. Let's say about yay big. I mean, we are talking about only a little bit of pork here. So, you then, I think it may be a good idea to re-dip your hands in again. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Okay, so. It might start falling apart together, but don't worry. That's what the salt water is for. Anyway. You flatten it out here, and then using your finger, you make a little bit of an indentation to put the pork in. You then, unfortunately, I don't have a spoon for anything like this. It's okay to use your hands, assuming you've washed them. You then take one of your portions of pork that you set aside, and then you fold it in to the rice, like this. Now again, the rice is going to be not very clingy at first. That's what the salt water is for. You just need to keep re-dipping your hands into it every time you feel them getting a little dry and warm from all the rice. just like that. Just like that. You kind of compress it into a ball. Well, that's exactly what you do, actually. And then, if you want, you can use or try and see if you can get it into a triangle-like shape, like this. It doesn't look terribly aesthetically pleasing, I can assure you, but it actually gets easier the more rice you do this with. I'm making pretty small rice balls right now, so we'll see how well they hold together, if at all. I think it goes without saying, of course, that if the rice you start with is already kind of moist, then it'll be easy to keep the ball together. So, right now, I would say you have a halfway decent rice ball. So, let me wash my hands here. It would probably be a good idea to set this aside right now. So, one moment, ladies and gentlemen. I found them. Or at least an acceptable substitute, anyway. I couldn't find any plastic wrap, but you should ideally keep them in something like, say, plastic wrap. But these Ziploc baggies will have to do for now. So, now that you have a completed rice ball, make sure that you store it carefully, as it can be a little delicate. All that's left to do now is to repeat for each of the remaining pieces and for as much rice as you can. So, let me go do that right now. I'll be back in a few minutes. Anyway, it's pretty thirsty work, so make sure you have a little something to drink beforehand. Anyway, so that's about it. I hope these came out okay, and I hope that this recipe comes out okay for you. I've tried to make it as accessible as possible. But if it didn't come out that way, in any way, shape, or form, please comment, tell me about how this video did, how you might improve it, stuff maybe you'd like to see in the future, that kind of thing. I welcome feedback. So email me, comment to YouTube, aim me, hit me up on World of Warcraft if any of you ever play that. I hope it turns out as good for you as it did for me. I know I'm going to have a lot of fun eating these. And that's about it. Have fun. Anyway, it's getting late, and I'm off to go do dishes. I'll see you next time, when I hope I can try out something a little bit tastier, but a little bit harder too. So, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, see you later.